Mr Chair.
I call Sarah Dowie.
Thank you, Mr Chair, for the opportunity to speak on the Gambling Amendment Bill number 2. So, as we have already heard, this is a bill which follows the Gambling Act 2003, which took effect in 2004. And that Parent Act brought about major reforms to the gambling sector. And I think that this bill, following on from that, is extremely important, even though it is technical changes. So the Parent Act was basically an acknowledgement that there are some people that are badly affected by gambling. In other words, they don't have the shut-off gene. But there are some that can gamble appropriately and have fun. So this is about technical changes that will refine that Parent Act and help to balance the rights of those that want to gamble safely with minimising harm to those that can't do so. So this particular amendment is in a series of amendments, like I say, with technical changes to it that clarifies that legislation since the passing of some case law. So in particular, this bill, as we've heard, relates to Class 4 gambling, which is non-casino gaming machines, or pokies as they're more commonly known. And there are a couple of things that I want to focus on in this bill that I think particularly makes a difference to minimising harm. So the first is Clause 81AA, where a venue manager, rather than the licensee of a Class 4 venue licence, is now liable for any failure to display a notice in the gambling area advertising to customers that the venue has a policy for identifying problem gamblers. So immediately, Mr Chair, the manager, the person who is in charge of the operation on the ground, is on notice. And the compulsion to display that information is readily available to the gamblers. It basically means, or puts that venue and those people gambling on notice that this is a responsible venue and that questions will be asked. And if a problem gambler is identified, that person will be steered in the right direction. The second thing that I want to focus on in this bill follows directly on from that, and this is section 86.8. which restricts the availability of EFTPOS machines close to pokies themselves. So while EFTPOS machines are not prohibited, it will require a player, as the member opposite has already alluded to step away from the machine and have time out, basically forcing a time of reflection to basically, give them time out and keep them away from, hopefully, destroying their lives. So I think this is an extremely practical measure, a common sense measure that's been brought into this bill to help clarify the Parent Act and hopefully add to avoiding situations where people may experience consequences that are devastating to their lives. And as the newly elected Deputy Chair of the Government Administration, I wasn't privy to the process that was heard with respect to the bill, but I want to thank the previous committee for the work that they've done. I think it's important work. Even though they're technical changes, they go toward creating practical solutions to minimise harm, and I think that is commendable, and as such, I support this bill.
Call Denise Roche.